Welcome back aboard BLERD Force 1 with your boys Mo and Ladi. And today we're reviewing Invincible Season 2, Episode 7. It's entitled, I'm Not Going Anywhere. It's coming to you from Prime Video. So what did we think about this episode, and should you be watching? And before we get into the review, get down there, hit like on this video. Well, Ladi, you can't have downtime forever, but I feel like there's a time skip in this episode. Between what we saw in the previous episode with Rex sort of recovering, and in this one, it's all about advancing the plot forward with Rex and his recovery, but also reminding us that Viltrumites do in fact exist in this universe, and they're not exactly patient. So Mark's trying to get his relationship back with Amber on point, and Donald sort of sorting out how his feeling about being an android. William's boyfriend is having mad PTSD, and like I said, there's a big old fight. So and Ladi, how do you feel about this? And I want to ask you your first thoughts. How do you feel about that whole Comic-Con scene, especially when he sat and talked to the writer of Seance Dog?
You ain't slick, bruh. You ain't fucking slick. Is that him? Was that him?
I don't know if that was Kirkman, but it was very much a Kirkman stand-in. I loved it. I loved that. That whole episode, I was doing the whole, I was doing the pointing at the screen thing, because I love that they were just like, oh man, it's going to be years until we have another season. I'm like, bitch, stop! Don't be lampshading this shit. Like, we know it's going to be too. And we do certain things to save on money. Like slow, and I was like, see, they just basically like, here's all the things we do to save money on this show, so we can have kick-ass fight scenes later. I thought it was funny. I had a good time listening to them basically talk to us, the viewers.
Yeah, that was hilarious.
It's like I remember he was like, we have them talk, but we cover their mouths up, and I was like, Mark literally covered his mouth up. I was like, what the hell? Y'all are so stupid.
Exactly. Like, that was some that right there is what you call those are you ain't slick moments. Like,
that's some high level. That's high level. That's some high level trolling, and I loved it.
Exactly.
Anyway, so the rest of the episode though, but beyond that bit.
What a great show. What a great episode, man. As I was watching it, what I kept saying? This is Invincible. This is what I'm talking about. It's the Superman story that I think Superman fans have been asking for, but DC hasn't been able to give us in a mature sense. And Robert Kirkman has found a way to scratch that itch, and unfortunately beat them to the punch of having a character that is so strong, so incredibly strong, and loves people that are pretty much like
wet tissue paper.
Yeah, him, and there's nothing he could do about it. To having to be because I had to remember, because I kept saying to myself, I'm like, why is Mark feeling like this? And I said, and I just had to remember, I keep forgetting he's the number one hero now. He's the number one hero. It's not like it was before with his dad, Omni-Man on the planet in season 1. He is the number one hero. If he can't do it, no one can. And that's a lot of pressure. That's a lot of pressure, especially with him. He's nowhere near as strong as his dad. He's nowhere near as strong as many Viltrumites. And it's just, my goodness.
And they make it very plain in this episode. Like,
oh, yeah. When he fought a Viltrumite in their prime, because he was fighting, because a lot of people got to remember, the Viltrumites that he fought on those planets were old Viltrumites. Those are old. This is a Viltrumite in their prime.
They weren't trying to kill him either. Not really.
I think that woman was trying to kill
Well,
him. I think that woman.
she was going to beat him into submission, but I think it's pretty clear that he and Nolan are Viltrumites, so they're going to test and see if they're any good, worth staying in the Empire, but not to kill him. Because if she had wanted to kill him, she would have. He'd have been dead.
Mm-hmm.
And it's pretty clear. But Anissa, I think, is actually probably a pretty high level person. She's sent on solo missions, like this. Well, yeah, I mean, we'll get to that fight in a minute. A lot of this episode, though, was concerning. There's a lot of character development in this. The whole thing with Donald finding out kind of his history and how fucked up it is, and then kind of making a choice about how to deal with all kind of all of the trauma he's been through, and then later turning that into an asset to save life. Which, by the way, I want to say, I love the fact that they've really leveled up Donald as a character. He's not just a functionary. He's not just Cecil's do boy. We find out he's a really fucking heroic person and has been doing a ton of stuff that we just don't see. And now that we kind of have seen a glimpse into it, it really makes me think differently about his character. And then, like I said, later on, using that trauma and what he's learned from it to literally talk a man off a ledge in a really nice way. Like what I love about this show, that it takes a lot of time to kind of build up the emotional stakes and to pay them off in a good way. And I thought that was really well done in that scene with Donald. And also later on, the whole, kind of the relationship building and dismantling between Amber and Mark. So the punching is awesome and I love it, but like, I need to give a shit about the characters, and I really give a shit about these characters. Like I'm sitting here watching this relationship sort of unravel, and I'm hating that it's happening,
Yeah, man, it's crazy that you're finding out. I'm not giving anything. It's this episode was crazy because the first 14 minutes felt like an hour. I was like, damn, how much time we have left for the episode? Wait, hold up. There's still 30-something minutes left? Man, it felt like an hour. Like, jeez. But, yeah, like, the little storyline with Donald was, you find out this entire time, it was him. And it makes me like his character even more because before, he just seemed like that, that side character that you really didn't care about. But now it's like, oh, okay. He's basically the Invincible version of Coulson.
Yeah,
he's basically the Invincible version of Coulson. He's the guy that he risks his life. He will literally die, even though he doesn't. Here's the thing that makes it so great: he doesn't know that he's going to come back each time.
Yeah,
he's dying without that knowledge. And that makes me love his character even more. Makes me love it even more.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, a lot of this episode is Amber and Mark. The previous episode, they were like, man, what's going on with our relationship? So this time, Mark makes a concerted effort. Like, we're going to spend time together. We're going to, do things, and I'm not going to let the job get in the way of that. And it's great. I'm saying, like, okay, this is a strained relationship that's starting to mend. And they're going around there. He's basically treating her like his dad treated his mom, not like a pet, but like, taking her around the world to do things, that making plans, trying to be a student and all that other stuff, only to have his superhero life intrude anyway. Even though he built up all these safeguards to stop it from happening, it intrudes anyway, and in a way that pretty much puts him on notice that he can't put down being a superhero. And spoiler, we were talking about Anissa. Anissa is sent by the Viltrumite. I can't remember the guy's name that the general, whatever, that has his dad captive, and she's basically there to reason with him, to be like, look, you know, this world is gonna probably fail because humanity sucks. But if they have our strong leadership, we'll save them, and we'll save millions of people, and everything will be all, you know, we'll deal with all of this shit, you know, shitty superpowered problems they have, and everything will be great. So, and as she said, I want you to know I tried reasoning with you.
Yeah.
Which, look, I hate and I love villains who make sense. You know what I'm saying? It's
yes.
Like, don't we spend a lot of time? I don't know about you, but I watch the news. I see people in real life. I see how people are acting. I see tragedy and horrible shit going on around the world. We in our civilization and in our society are actively participating in ruining our world. Like, we're doing all this stuff, and I'm just like, I mean, is she wrong? I mean, she is, but is she wrong about what we're doing and how we can't seem to save ourselves? And that's literally why Invincible is there. You know, the Guardians are there, but you know, Mark just been like, nope. We're gonna just fight about this, and getting royally destroyed, like just an ass whooping. You know, it's just kind of like when people are like, was Killmonger wrong though? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Listen, we all know this was the G-rated version of what happened compared in the comic books, because some stuff that happened in the comic book we are not allowed to talk about on this podcast because we might get in trouble. But just know this was the G-rated version, and
she whooped his ass.
When I saw her just land, and I was just sitting down, just relaxing. As soon as I saw her, then I saw the caption of this. I was like, already? I said, oh no! And then she grabbed Amber's neck. It was like I could just snap her neck, and I'm just like, oh. Then my first thing in my mind is like, how did she get here without anybody knowing? Oh fuck! He took off his earpiece. Yeah. So it's like you said, he has to stay invincible. He has to, because any moment these Viltrumites could just show up and just be like, "What's up, bro?"
I like that they built her up. They built her up a lot in the episode because he's struggling against this kaiju. Which, by the way, why the fuck would you go on a cruise in a world where there are kaiju? Like, why do that? But anyway, he's struggling. She like one-shots this motherfucker, right? And she's like, and helps him save all these people on the cruise ship.
And she dusts herself off with the blood just by stomping. So damn hard.
Let me just say, this is some Dragon Ball Z shit. Like, the ass whooping she gives Mark is like straight up Dragon Ball Z. Like, it's out of Goku's playbook. Like, when he was beating Frieza like he stole something, every move that she did was something that Goku did. So, like, it was brutal. And of course, Mark is a stubborn bitch. So, he ultimately, recognized that the Viltrumites feel like they actually need him. So, and she wasn't sent there to kill him. The reason why I bring all this stuff up is, one, Mark realizing like that was the camel that breaks that's a camel. That's the straw that breaks the camel's back, so to speak. And so we get that really like, all of that doesn't matter. That fight doesn't matter if the emotional stakes aren't there between him and Amber.
Yeah.
Which well, I mean, I love that they built Amber up into like a not terrible character like she was in the books. But then this also builds up Anissa to be a badass, so that when she encounters Alan at the end of the episode, we get a real idea that Alan ain't no fucking joke.
Yeah, Alan could have literally probably killed her and the dude on the ship if he wanted to.
Because remember, Mark hit her like twice. Yeah. He got two good, solid, hard hits on her, and she was like, "Okay, what?" Or it's like, sounds good. but then Alan punched the shit out of her and made her bleed. Like
Alan is literally a Saiyan. He literally, if you beat him up and he survives, he will come back. He's literally a Saiyan. Right now, we're looking at Super Alan. Right now, if you beat him up again and he lives, he's gonna be Super Alan too.
Yeah,
like
he's a super Namek. I mean, Urapin or whatever the fuck they call them. Super Namekian.
So basically, we all know Alan is going to go to that thing and he's going to help
Nolan get escape. Out. Yep. It's going down, especially because Invincible sort of has given him good reasons for it. So I'm really excited for this. Like, it's a really good episode. I think the previous episode was better, but I really like this episode. Like, I'm so ready. And Angstrom Levy, damn you, coming in at the last minute.
Fuck you, man. I forgot about that motherfucker, man. I literally forgot about him.
I can't wait to see, because you would think, oh, you're gonna get one shot, and I'm like, nah, don't believe that hype. This Angstrom Levy he's got all of himself in his brain, and he can cross dimensions. Yeah, he might leave your ass in the zombie dimension or something. I don't know. So I don't know. We gonna see next week. That's a good cliffhanger. Like I said, really good episode. I think you actually probably liked it a lot more than I did, but I still highly rank it. So I'm just ready for the next one. So anyway, those are our thoughts on this episode. What'd you guys think about it? What'd you think about what we had to say? Get down to the comments section, leave your thoughts there, and of course you can always hit us up, supernotfunnyshow@gmail.com. It's blerd_force1 on Instagram and on Threads, and of course super_not_funny show on TikTok. And while you're down there, do us a favor, hit like on this video, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell. All that good stuff helps to grow this channel, helps more people to see reviews just like this. All right, thanks for joining us. Come back next week for the season finale of Invincible. We'll let you guys know what we think about it. Till then, I've been Mo, your commentator extraordinaire on all things pop culture, joined by the anime expert, video game designer, and lover of all things superhero, my good friend Ladi. And we'll see you guys on the other side of the thread. Peace.
Peace.
Thank you.